In the quiet chill of a Russian winter morning, snowflakes drifted lazily outside the window of a small dormitory in Moscow. Aryan, a young Indian medical student pursuing his MBBS, stirred under his thick blanket. The room was simple: a bed, a desk filled with textbooks, and a poster of home reminding him of warmer days. He had come to Russia 2 years ago, drawn by the promise of affordable education and world-class training. Now, in his third year, each day blended into the next, but this week felt different, heavier somehow. Aryan rose slowly, his breath visible in the cool air. He boiled water for tea, the steam rising like a gentle sigh. Sipping it black, he gazed at the frosted cityscape. Classes started at 9, so he dressed in layers, woolen sweater, coat, and boots that crunched on the seapad outside. The walk to university was peaceful, past snow-covered parks where locals walked their dogs. Birds chirped faintly, breaking the silence. Monday unfolded calmly. In the lecture hall, Professor Ivanov droned on about anatomy, his voice steady and deep. Aryan took notes meticulously, his pen scratching paper. The class was a mix of international students, Indians, Africans, and a few Russians. Lunch was in the cafeteria, barsh soup and bread, warm and filling. Afternoon labs involved dissecting models, the scent of preservatives lingering. By evening, back in his dorm, Aryan studied alone. The relatable ash of homesickness crept in. He missed his family's daily lights, the spicy curries, the latter. Video calls helped, but the time difference made them brief. Just one more year, he whispered to himself, pausing to let the thought settle. Tuesday brought more routine. Early gym session in the university basement, weights and treadmill to shake off the cold. Breakfast was porridge with fruits he bought from the market. Classes shifted to physiology, diagrams of hearts and lungs filling his notebook. A group study with friends Raj and Priya, fellow Indians, lightened the mood. They shared notes over tea, lying at mispronounced Russian words. But the problem deepened, assignments piled up, and Aryan struggled with the language barrier. Patients in clinical practice spoke rapid Russian, leaving him frustrated. He felt isolated, like an outsider in this vast, snowy land. Midweek, Wednesday, the pace remained slow. Snow fell heavier, blanketing the streets in white hush. Aryan attended a seminar on pathology, the professor's slides glowing on the screen. He paused often in his thoughts, reflecting on why he chose this path. Medicine was his dream, but the relentless schedule tested him. Evening brought a walk to the nearby store for groceries, potatoes, eggs, and instant noodles to mimic home flavors. Cooking alone, he stared dull on the stove, the aroma comforting. Yet, the loneliness lingered, a quiet weight on his chest. Thursday introduced a gentle twist. During break, a Russian classmate named Olga approached him. She had noticed his quiet demeanor. "You look tired," she said in broken English, smiling warmly. They chatted over coffee in the canteen. Olga shared stories of her own struggles, balancing studies with part-time work. Aryan opened up about missing India. To his surprise, she invited him to a small gathering that evening, a few students cooking pelmeni dumplings together. Hesitant at first, he went. The kitchen was alive with chatter, steam from boiling water, and shared loss. For the first time that week, the cold felt less biting. Olga taught him a few phrases, and he shared a recipe for chai. It was simple, but it shifted something inside him, a spark of connection. Friday built on that warmth. Classes ended early, so Aryan joined Olga and Avaz for a stroll in Gorky Park. Skates on ice, thought he. Belt at first, brought joy. Later echoed as they fell and rose again. Evening study felt easier, motivated by new friendships. The problem of isolation began to fade, replaced by a sense of belonging. Saturday was restful. No classes, just review sessions in the library, sunlight filtering through tall windows. Aryan called home, his voice steadier. He told his mother about Olga, the dumplings, the park. "It is getting better," he said, pausing to feel the truth of it. Sunday wrapped the week gently. A quiet morning walk, then picking for the next day. Reflecting in his journal, Aryan wrote of the challenges, the cold, the language, the distance, but also the growth. Medicine wasn't just books, it was resilience, connections across borders. As night fell, snowflakes danced again outside. Aryan lay down, content. This week had taught him that even in falling snow, roots could grow deep. He closed his eyes, ready for whatever came next, his heart a little fuller. Word count, 812.